Alright, good morning everybody and happy Thanksgiving. In today's video we are tracking a likely ice storm for the upcoming weekend, for the travel weekend. Many people will be coming home from seeing families over the Thanksgiving break, so unfortunately we will have some wintry weather to deal with, and we'll also talk about the potential for some accumulating snowfall in parts of the Northeast, including parts of the state of PA, Sunday into Monday and even early Tuesday. So we're going to keep this video short, sweet, and to the point, but if you are interested in this type of content heading into the winter, please hit that subscribe button, as it would help us out, and why not just get more information if you're interested. So anyways, we'll start off by looking at the Euro precip, and we'll get into the ice, then the snow, and then that'll be it. So starting off with the Euro, you can see this is by about 4 p.m. Saturday. So heading into Saturday evening, we're starting to see that freezing rain break out in parts of the Laurel Highlands as well as Northwest PA, in addition to Central PA. By the time we get into, this is a very early Sunday morning. We're talking about just around midnight on Sunday, 12 a.m. on Sunday. So this is when the beginning of the freezing rain threat looks to be. Now, heading into later Sunday morning, this is when we are probably going to be at the heart of this ice storm. This is by 7 a.m. Sunday morning. So if you're gonna, unfortunately, if you have to pick a day to go home this weekend, it would probably be best if you live east of or in the Appalachian Mountains or east to go home on Saturday, because Sunday looks to be an all-out mess pretty much. So Sunday morning we have freezing rain across 60 to 70% of the state. Sunday morning, and then heading into late Sunday morning. Now this is early Sunday afternoon. We're really not seeing this ice go away too much. We're not seeing this green creep up, this green being rain and temperatures above 32. Now, you have south of the PA Turnpike starting to change to rain by about noon on Sunday. But, besides that, most of the state is most of the state is below freezing and still seeing that freezing rain heading into early Sunday afternoon. That continues in the late Sunday afternoon. So this is a long duration ice storm. Not the longest we've ever seen, but it could be 12 to 15 hours, maybe even 18 hours in parts of the northern PA mountains, Pocono regions. And then as you can see, we're talking about a significant snowstorm in much of upstate New York, really from Syracuse and on east into southern New England. So if you're traveling up there for the Thanksgiving weekend, it looks like you'll make it back in time to avoid all that. But anyways, we are continuing into now Monday morning. The low pressure has transferred to the coast. We see this 993 millibar low off the coast of New Jersey, just south of New York City. And much of southern New England is getting in on that heavier snow. Northeast PA is still hanging on the ice by the time we get into Monday. This is very early Monday morning and actually late Sunday night. We're talking about 10 p.m. Sunday night. Now, you might think, okay, it's over. Most of the heavier precip has exited the state. Now we're just talking about some weak stuff. Well, the Euro, and especially other models, wants to throw a few bands of snowfall, that is, back into parts of the Poconos and north central PA mountains. Now, that could be a mix by the time you get south of I-78, as temperatures will be a little bit warmer, and you'll have, at least this model shows less precip, and this time of year you really need some good precip rates to have that dynamic cooling and those higher accumulations rather than maybe light to no accumulations if you're just lightly snowing or mixing. So this is now Monday night already, so I kind of went through that fast, but we're talking about possibly a period of light to moderate snow throughout much of the day on Monday in Northeast PA, and then it starts to wrap up finally by the time we get into Tuesday morning. So this is a complicated storm. As you can see, there's really two phases to it. Looks like we're going to have some widespread ice to begin the storm, then maybe a little bit of a break by the time we get into Sunday evening, and then as that coastal low gets going, parts of eastern and northern PA could get in on that accumulating snowfall. We'll have more details in an article noon today. Unfortunately, we don't want to take some time that you do have, that rare time maybe that you do have with your families, but if you are interested, feel free to drop by and check out the update this afternoon. But now let's take a quick look at the ice potential. So this is the Euro. we'll look at the other models in a second and where they put the heaviest ice accretion. So we're looking at potentially a half an inch of ice from much of central PA from the Laurel Highlands, and especially up near State College, Williamsport, Lock Haven, St. Mary's, many areas across central PA. Now, this is the latest run of the Euro. It kind of shied away from that freezing rain in southern PA as it switched them over to just plain rain and temperatures above 32 faster. But we did see a little bit more freezing rain in the Lehigh Valley as well as the Poconos. You can see Allentown at about 1/3 of an inch of freezing rain, and Scranton a little bit more than that. So now let's look at what the GFS printed out. So it was a little less aggressive, as you can see, but it was a little bit further south, and that we do have maybe 1/3 of an inch of freezing rain, which is, anything over 1/4 of an inch of freezing rain is pretty significant. And it could cause power outages, of course, very, very hazardous travel. And now let's look at the Canadian. It's pretty much the same story. It's a little bit further south, maybe a little bit too far south, in my opinion. I think the biggest freezing rain threat is probably from the Laurel Highlands into central PA, right around State College in those areas, as I highlighted in the winter storm threats map that I posted earlier this morning, or at least updated. So, finally, let's get into the snow potential for that coastal low pressure system. We're looking at really north of Williamsport, and especially north and east of Scranton in Pennsylvania. Could be looking at, this is the Euro model, not all models are this aggressive, but they could be looking at, I'd say 5 inches or more of snowfall. As you get down in the Lehigh Valley, that really is where it gets complicated, just because we could be looking at a little bit of rain trying to mix in, especially if you have some lower rates. So we'll definitely keep an eye on those areas as they are a little bit more populated, of course. But the bullseye of this storm looks to be from around or just west of Albany, New York, heading through Albany, much of eastern New York State, and then central New England, from Springfield, Mass. To Worcester, to Boston, and into southern New Hampshire. These areas could all receive, easily 6 inches to 12 inches and possibly even more than that in especially higher elevations. So that's a wrap on this upcoming potential ice storm followed by a snowstorm, everybody. Stay safe. Stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good Thanksgiving.